What's up, friends? Welcome to the live composing show. This is Stephen Melin here at Video Game Music Alliance. Hope you're doing fabulous today. I feel like my head's getting cut off by the camera. Give me a sec. You see, this is what happens when you do like an impromptu stream. You don't always get all set up like you like. Anyway. Hope you guys are doing fabulous today. This is going to be a shorter stream than normal. We are back to the normal schedule this Thursday. We have our normal stream at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard, but today just a little impromptu shiggity sha. Corey in the chat before the show started said, "You got permission to stream this from the devs?" And I said, asterisk, yes. So, emphasis on the asterisk, because the way this works, do I have permission to stream today? Yes, from the game devs. However, I cannot say what the game is or share artwork or anything about the game. So it makes me feel like I'm making it up. But I really am working on a large soundtrack. I'm super excited to be working on this soundtrack. I wish I could stream everything, but I just can't. So today, what I'm going to do over the next hour, before I wrap up my workday, I've been working on this all day, and I just felt like, this would be fun just to document, right? Turn the camera on, talk with you guys, and just to show a little bit of the process. So I can't answer yes or no if you're going to ask any specifics about the game, but all I can tell you right now is it's a roguelike. I just spammed the junk out of playing Hades, which I was so excited. I've been waiting since last year to play it. Finally played it to death. Got like the super secret ending of playing it a gajillion times. You have to beat it 10 times to get the real ending, get the credits sequence, which is insane. I absolutely loved playing that game. So this game has a lot of similarities to that. So if you need a mental picture, think of Hades. So there's a lot of action. There's a lot of exploration in this game. It's a roguelite, so that means you're going to repeat the game over and over and over again. With a lot of different choices. So the choices you make through the game actually change the story. They change the way that the events unfold. And this is a dream project. I'm actually writing all the music and doing sound design. This is my very first soundtrack where I'm doing both music and sound 100%. So this is a crazy experience where I'm actually programming and implementing everything inside Unity as well. So this is a large project that I'll likely be working on for several years. Of course, once there's official announcements, I'll bring it up. Dang, my camera sucks today. Sorry, guys. Getting all the blurry action. Anyway, So let's just kind of dive into it. I can't answer a bunch of questions, but hope you guys can have some fun, just kind of seeing a little bit behind the scenes of what I can share. To date, I've written officially, you could say 4 tracks. I've actually written about 30 tracks. So talk about just exhaustion over the last several months. I've been cranking out a ton of demos, a ton of alternate versions, and it's been about 30 tracks. And of that, we finally landed on the sound of the game and, the signature sound that makes it special. And that's one of the hardest parts about starting a soundtrack, especially a large soundtrack. You got to nail some of the melodies, the main themes. You got to nail the vibe, the atmosphere of the game, and all of that. So it's really cool that I finally get to, in some capacity, show some of it. So let's jump over. I'm in Cubase. And curiously, I'm writing all the music in Cubase in one section, or in one session. But I'm doing all of the sound design in Pro Tools, which is not the way I usually work, but it seems for my brain, because I'm doing sound design and music, it allows me to have 2 separate programs, and there's something about that feels refreshing when I switch between them, and just to see different colors and to do different keyboard shortcuts and stuff. It actually helps me do better. That's really the only reason behind it, and I really like Pro Tools for audio editing, and I love Cubase for MIDI. So here we are. I can't play a ton of stuff, but right now I'm actually have 6 ongoing tracks. This is another way that I write music, is I come up with an idea, but it's not done. And so if I have another idea, I just create another track, and they're all in the same session. And so you can kind of see here all these different markers. And I mean, there's just a ton of content in here. I've probably already written about an hour of music. But only 10 minutes of it has actually been used. So it's just one of those things that part of being creative and part of exploring a sound is to just try stuff and to just keep trying and trying and trying until the game dev team is happy, I'm happy with it, and then we can kind of move on. So I don't really know what we're going to work on over the next hour, other than I have 6 unfinished pieces of music, and I'd like to try to make some progress. So right now, here at the beginning, we're working on the Garden District exploration. So this one particular area of the game is actually one of the only peaceful spots. So it should actually have a little bit of a beauty to it. This is the Garden District of this world, which means let's think of Hades, right? In Hades, there's all these like really you're literally escaping hell. So it's like all of these like lava. There's a lava world. There's a like Tartarus, which is like the original, like the undead world, right? So think of Elysium in that game, if you've played it, where it's the third world, where it's very pretty and beautiful and green and grass and water and that kind of stuff. So this is very similar in that aspect, where it's this is a section of the game which is actually beautiful and peaceful versus horrific. So anyway, let's just play what I have and write some music before I lose all my time. So I'm using a lot of harp harmonics in this soundtrack. I'm using a lot of light colors, orchestral colors mixed with dark colors, if that makes sense. A lot of harmonics of strings and harp, piano, celeste, a lot of tribal drums. That was one of the favorite sounds. So it's like a traditional orchestra mixed with some ethnic flavors and some synth flavors. Very hybrid. So this is such a different sound that I'm used to. I really like how chill and beautiful this is. And thanks, Jay Metzer. Oh, man. Yeah. But Hades was quite the challenge, but I had so much fun. But I'm ready to be done with it. So I just added these harmonic strings today. I think it adds such a nice color. Because so much of this game up to this point has been really dark, menacing stuff. So it's nice to have a release. So I think here would be a good spot to put some woodwinds. I don't have a lot of woodwinds in this score. No. So I think because this is a particularly colorful section, a moment where it's visually stunning, beautiful garden, there should be a little bit more like woodwind colors. Yeah, I like that a lot. Just sneaking in some clarinet. Let's see. Chu says, what piano am I using? I don't use this piano a lot, but because it's such an orchestral score, I'm using the piano from Red Room Audio. Oh, what is their thing called? Palette. Symphonic Sketchpad. Really cool stuff there. Harp, I'm rocking the classic Play East-West. I don't like a lot of their stuff, but this is the most used harp in VGM history. It's on everything since the PS2 era. Everyone has used this harp, and for good reason. It just sounds beautiful. It's all over the Zelda series and everything. Hey, Eric, I'm glad you can make it. See, this is why it's sometimes nice to do random weird time streams. But I'm sorry. The harp yes, my normal harp. But that is my normal harp, but I'm not actually using a normal harp today. I'm using the Harp Harmonic Ensemble. This is an 8DO patch from AGE, AGE harp. That stands for Acoustic something ensemble. Yeah, it's actually it's a harp ensemble. So cool. Really cool library, very unique contact library. So that's essentially what Austin Winery did for Abzu, is he recorded a room full of harps. So it has that dreamy. So beautiful. So I've been using that a lot in this score. Very unique sound. So I like this use of clarinet. So now I'm thinking it might be good with just the clarinets. Let me double that just to try it with oboes as well. I like that a lot with the oboes. Let's see if it sounds good with the flutes as well. Yeah, that sounds really good. But I do want to take everything. Take my mod wheels. I might have to do this for all of them real quick. I want to take my mod wheel. And hey, thanks so much, Zach. Appreciate it, man. Look at my mod wheel, and I want to just turn this down because now I'm going to be doubling it or tripling it with all these different woodwinds in unison. Go down like that. And this way, when I duplicate it like this, it's not as strong of a velocity. So I need a high string color to come in with that high G. That's what I'm hearing. Or horn euphoniums. I've also been using a lot of these for softer music. This is a Spitfire I don't use Spitfire a lot, but I'll be in 2 series. It's a collection of soft European, so like British ensemble instruments. So it has a horn euphonium patch, which is so pretty if you don't want big bombastic horns. So nice, and it blends really well with woodwinds. That, so I want to have the horns very, very simple, right? Hey, it's Sherman. What's up? Man, this is so interesting because nothing else in this game sounds anything like this. But that's why I like it, because it's so different. It's using all the same instruments, just in a different palette. And it's so colorful and bright. I do want to try another track with you guys today, just to kind of show the difference. But this is very calming for me. I like that a lot because it kind of keeps the motion. So I don't think I want to jump right into the A minor yet. To me, this feels like a bridge. So I feel the need to do a couple things real quick. First of all, this is a little tricky since I have so many tracks in this session, but one of my favorite Cubase functions is to type in the end of your track time code. It's right here. 219 is the beginning spot. And let's just pick some random amount like 250. And you can go to Edit, Range, Insert Silence, which is so cool because you can push back the next track to give myself more space. And it keeps all the information there, which is really nice. So from my planning perspective here, I want to make sure that down here, this is a 2-minute track, so 12:38 should put us at 14:38 when we loop, which is right about here. So we're going to make our new selection 225.1, thereabouts. It's a long measure. There we go. So right about there, I can decide later. This is going to be my 2-minute loop. That'll help me plan ahead a little bit. So it looks like I don't have any markers yet because this is all brand new. So we have this harp ensemble, then we have the bottom. So I'll say winds plus horn. Cool. And this is going to be our B section. This is going to be whatever the main melody is. And the bridge itself, which is da-da-da-dum, I would like to make sure that I'm selecting. I like this content. It may or may not work in the end, but I like it, and I like to keep at least the chord structure. So I will do that by going over here. It's really not that much. So probably here. I know I'm just thinking out loud here. This is what you get. Since this is all unprepared, that's all right. What I want to do is take all of this information and just bump it out until it becomes a loop point. I know. I named this stream Dark Fantasy Orchestral. All the other tracks are Dark Fantasy Orchestral, so I'll get to it. Okay, cool. So I get one bonus measure here. There we go. All right. So this will now be my C, which is essentially a bridge. We'll let that kind of do its thing and make the loop points. So let's make sure that actually loops well. Preferably without the tempo changing. That'd be stellar. 212. Yikes, why does that change? All right, I think we got this all settled. Right, so let's test the loop. That does work. It's just not perfect. There we go. Oh, this is the bummer of not having Matt. I don't know what all you guys are saying. Verdian says it sounds like night themes in anime games. Yeah, we'll go with that. You guys are funny. So this section, so I want this to stay in this vibe, but I want to keep the drum beat and let that really drive the middle here. Quick way of doing that is just to copy, paste here, just fill out this spot. Looks like I need 2 measures. And there we are. So the bridge, I'm calling this a bridge because it starts on an A minor. It has like an uplifting motion to it, and we just don't need to get there quite yet. And I don't know why I'm feeling some like David Wise Donkey Kong vibes today, but that's the way I'm feeling. So that's kind of where that riff style comes from. It's very, very DW. Nice. Let me get back into the groove here. We'll write some more stuff. Yeah. I want to lean into these horns or these woodwinds. I think they're quite nice. So we're kind of hovering on the C major, G major. So it's like a G2 chord or G4 suspension. Which, I know that they're major chords, but I'm really trying to hover on the 4 and the 2. So it's not just an overt major chord. Right? And even the C chord is actually an inversion because we're on a G on the bass. This is where I have to be careful not to get too happy, but so we're definitely leaning to the mysterious vibe, but also beauty. So I feel like strings need to come in here. So what would be a good place to go from? I'm thinking like an F2 chord, which is a 4. All right, so let's just give it a shot. It's F to A minor 7. And I'll do some like twinkly bells or something, and like a triplet feel on top to make it vibey, but that's the chord structure. I like this. I just need 2 extra bars because I ran out of space. So to do that, I'll use the method I used before. Just like that. Oh man, I mean, dark and fantasy, most soundtracks, most music in general, game devs just want 4/4 time. Sometimes 3 can work, 6 can work. If you want weird, irregular stuff like prog rocky stuff, epic boss battles, 7/4, 9, 8, that kind of stuff is really nice. But for your average standard situation, you should probably lean on a 4/4 if you can. There's been so many times in my career where a game dev says, like, something feels off. It's because I chose a time signature they didn't like, which means it wasn't 4/4. This has happened so many times that generally, if I can make it work in 4/4, I'm going to try. But if it can't, because it's like a waltz or something, or a really cool special moment that needs to be weird, then yeah, whatever. It's kind of irrelevant at that point. Yeah, so for drums, I'm actually mixing some stuff. I'm using Tom Holkenberg Percussion from... it's the Sign Players. That's Orchestral Tools, which is right here. The percussion, I'm using the Performance Kit, which is my favorite perk for like big beefy drums. And then we have a Seed Shaker from Dark Era. That thing has been like a staple of almost all the tracks. And then a Skin Drum from, let's find out, Dark Era as well. Very simple, but that little palette of percussion has really paid off in so many ways for big battle tracks and also for the basic stuff. And just for fun, let's I'm very, very proud of one of the battle tracks so far that I can show off, that has been approved and everything. Took a lot of tries. And speaking of weird time signatures, I mean, just check this out. This is a lot of fun. I'm pretty proud of that one. I feel like I'm growing so much as a composer, and part of it is just leaning more into the details. And that track, I had to do 6 passes of it just to get all the right articulations and stuff. And that's something my old self wouldn't have done. I would have phoned it in after like 2 or 3 tries. I would have been like, okay, it's good enough. But I really, 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 really appreciate that this particular game dev team is pushing me so much. They are not okay with anything less than like my absolute best. So even this track down here, this took 10 tries, 10 different versions for like to nail the articulations, to nail it. And I'm really happy about that. So this is like that dark vibe I keep talking about. So much there's like an hour of music hiding in this. I don't even know if I didn't finish any of the garden stuff that I was trying to work on today. Let's just move on. Whatever, it's fine. This is how my brain works anyway. I just bounce between a million different tracks at once. But that combat track, surprisingly enough, the way that it typically works is I keep writing. I get all the crap out of my system by like just writing until a good idea actually comes out. So that battle track, that was like the 3rd or 4th battle track I tried for that particular moment in the game. And nothing was coming out that I liked, that the team liked. And I just kept trying. And then one day I just landed on that sound and I wrote about a minute of it, almost exactly as you hear it now, like that first dun 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 dun. And the team loved it, and so I just turned that into a 2-minute track in one more sitting. So in that situation, maybe 3 or 4 hours total into the whole track. But it's not like I just started there. You know, I had to write a bunch of stuff to get there. So sometimes the muse strikes, and other times it doesn't, and you just have to keep going. Oh, I like this one. So this is another section called the Alchemical Woods Exploration. This is another one I need to be working on. Let me jump here, just because if I take too long of a break like that, I just kind of forget what I was doing anyway. Josh says it's wild to see me make every song for the OST in one project file. Really cool idea. Don't think that would work very well in FL Studio. Probably not. This is one of the beauties of Cubase is it can hold like infinite information. Seemingly, I've never hit any kind of peak. I can just keep adding instruments. I can keep adding markers. I can keep adding folders and color schemes and whatever. And I just, once I have my template, I just want to keep writing inside the template. That way everything sounds the same, right? So here we have a track that's kind of, it's like dark and light. And that's in very... I don't want to spoil the game, but the game has a lot of allusions towards light versus dark. And so that's the sound I'm trying to capture are a lot of colorful instruments in the orchestra mixed with like low, gritty synth kind of sounds and low orchestral instruments. So that is very much the vibe. interesting. So you can kind of see how these are incomplete ideas. Might be worth fixing now. Also, this changed to 3/4 time at some point, or maybe it's 6. See, this is also part of, you know, combining sessions and stuff. If you make one change or you don't fix it later, it can screw up your tracks. Looks like this whole thing actually starts off time, which can be solved with a time signature change right here. No big deal, which should be, let's just call it 6/4. I think this whole thing is in 6/4. That's why it's in 6/4. Sorry, Micah, no Matt today. He's actually out of town. He'll be back for Thursday because, you know, we didn't play in this today. Oh, my flute. That's where it is. It's off by a whole measure. This is no doubt... these like 4 measures right here, I wrote this right when I was working with Hitoshi Sakimoto with Dark Dice. And it's so funny just when you're in the headspace of a different composer or working with another composer, as I just did. This is such a Sakimoto phrase, and it just comes out from that collaboration. I just love that. I want to keep it. You'll hear it. Like that little that little phrase is like could have come straight out of Final Fantasy 12. Just gotta clean this up. It's all kinds of off. Michael, you haven't missed anything. I have nothing to share officially that I'm allowed to share, so I'm just kind of vague posting today. So what I'm trying right now is I'm trying to double harp, piano, and celesta. I've never done that before, but it creates a really interesting sound. I like that combo. And that's the loop point. It should be the loop point. It should come into this little glissando. So this is the woods. Thank you, Cubase. This is the woods, the alchemical woods. So it's supposed to be magical, a little dark, spooky, but also part of the game is always working your way towards the light. And so there is this feeling of you can see the light at the end of the tunnel kind of thing. So we start in darkness, work towards light. Again, this is very similar to Hades. It's a roguelike. Nothing in common except for that, but conceptually. So I like the choir as the light, and I put some delay on the choir, some stereo delay. That way it goes wah, 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 which is something I love doing. And Sherman mentioned it earlier in the chat, but he said it sounds a lot like Metroid, which, yeah, Metroid's always an influence for me. Exploration music is always, I always think of Metroid. And today I decided to add some contrabass clarinets, not to this track, but to a different track. And I'm wondering if that... Since conceptually the goal of the game is to get higher, think of it like Hades, to go from the underworld to the surface. It's kind of that vibe. So you're trying to get out. So Josh, I'm aiming for 2-minute loops, unless otherwise contracted, but so far everything's a 2-minute loop. But I love the contrabassoon. Well, this is not a bassoon. This is a contrabass clarinet. It's so low. It's the woodwind version of a tuba. It works so nice in the woodwind family. And since there's already some woodwinds here, that feels like a John Williams phrase. This track is much tamer than some of the others. I know what I need. I need some nickel harpa drone. Nickel harpa is similar to a hurdy-gurdy. I think it's a little bit more pleasant. It's a medieval instrument. Not quite a violin. It's basically a sideways viola with a bunch of, what do you call those? The little clicky keys. So it's like this weird blend of almost like a sideways keyboard, a guitar, but medieval version, which is similar to a hurdy-gurdy because you have the drone. You turn it while you're playing with the other hand, your left hand, the keys. So it's also kind of like an accordion, kind of like a bagpipe. So it's this interesting medieval instrument, which I think this soundtrack does really well with. I like to have it have these drones underneath. I'm thinking here. I want to double the strings, whatever they're doing. Yeah, I like that. So, Yeah, it's a G, right? G minor. Yeah. Come on, autosave. Get out of here. I love my autosave. I use it a lot. Let's try it. Lovely. Hey, what's up, Matt? Cool. I think I got the right chords. It's using one of my favorite string patches. That is 8-Dio Adagietto. Man, I talk about it all the time because I use it in everything I ever use. Every track, I use something from Adagietto. But they're swell strings, which are time mapped or time machine stretched to match your tempo. They're so lovely. I've been using those for like a decade now. Hey, thanks so much for being here, Michael. Is that the right chord? No. I don't even know. I'm doing 7th chords, so it's hard to tell. I think it's a D minor. Oh yeah, guys, if you don't, I do like to talk about sample libraries, but you don't have to have this patch. But if you're in the market, this is still one of the cheapest string libraries on the market, and it's still my favorite. I use it in literally every single production I make. Something from this pack. So this is Adagietto by 8-Dio. Go check it out. Black Friday is coming next month, and I'm sure it'll be 80% off, and it's already super cheap. So it's probably like $5 now. If you don't have that I think it's a must-have. I use it all the time. Not for all of my patches, but it's just a staple of my sound. But yeah, the ethnic stuff I'm using for this soundtrack is largely from Dark Era or Era 2 Medieval Legends. So those are best service libraries. Anyway, let's go back to this little string line. I don't think that's the right chord. All right, G, F, D, E flat, G, F, C, D. I think that's what I did, right? Yada, da, da. Oh, my strings are off. That's not good. That's not helping. Da ba ba da ba ba. Da da. Ya. Bum 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 ba bum. There it is. That is correct. Just feels weird with all the 7th chords. My slightly nasally congestion can hit the low C today. I also recently added a patch which has been kicking booty recently. This is the low strings octaves from Metropolis Arc 1. They have this killer patch, which has become a new favorite of my palette. It is the Wolfenstein low strings. It's a simple little patch, but what it is it's the cello and bass sections recorded at the same time. sounds so lovely. And I'm starting to use it to double my swell strings because the swell strings, which they're really nice, they swell. And so they have a lot of like silence. They do this, right? Which is fine. It sounds nice, but it can sound even better if I have a constant underneath. So let me record that in, and I'll add the nickel harpa so we can do it at the same time. Here we go. Oh yeah. And that's so nice. Oh my gosh, what a difference that makes. Because it adds just that low register. And I'm riding the mod wheel. So I'm basically performing swells. But what it does is just adds, pardon me, just adds a really thick layer. I'm recovering from a nasty cold that I've had for 2 weeks. Good Lord. I just think it's so nice. Pardon my sniffles here. Yeah, there we go. Such a cool patch. That patch almost makes Metropolis Arc worth it. It's expensive, so don't buy it for that. But just kind of throwing that out there. I'm actually going to do a review of Metropolis Arc soon, so look out for that. I'm not in love with this cello. I have not successfully used the cello in any track so far. It doesn't feel like it should be part of this game. I really don't think it is. So let me try. I've been using wooden flute like crazy in this game. It just feels like the right instrument. That's totally the right instrument. Micah, I did not know that about orchestral tools, that you can just buy a single patch. That's incredible. I'd love to know how much that one patch is so I can start telling people about it. That's super cool. Gosh, this is my favorite flute. I've been using it like crazy. I actually screwed around with the innards. I opened it up and made it my own a little bit. But this is the wooden transverse flute legato from Era 2. Killer flute. I tweaked it just to have the ADSR that I like. That's going to work on the whole soundtrack. And then I also have a delay patch, which is so killer. So I have the delay bounce stereo. But I'm not going to use that one because it's like an effect. All right, let's get this melody in there. This comes in early anyway. It's also the only moment I've ever used a solo flute, like an orchestral flute, so I need to find a new instrument for that. Maybe I'll use the low whistle instead. Nah, maybe clarinet. That's what I'm going to do. I haven't done it yet. I'm going to add a solo clarinet. I'm not that deep into the soundtrack that I'm still adding things. So let me add. Let me grab from ADO. I really like their somewhere in here. ADO da 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 da. Clear Woodwinds. They have a really good clarinet. So let me grab their legato. Fast, because we have to do it fast. Ba-da-ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba. Cool. Whoa, that's interesting, Micah, that you can, for $60, get just that one patch. Very fascinating. Did not know that existed. Very interesting indeed. Obviously, for the value, you'd want to get the whole thing, but for Metropolis Arc, fascinating. Matt says, "Wow, what patch is this? What are we referring to?" Gosh, I love Claire Woodwinds. Like, out of the box, they just sound like heaven. So nice. Now, that's kind of a lie, because I do have a reverb on it, because I just copied my settings. So it is being routed through 2C Aether reverb, which of course makes it sound even lovelier, but there you go. I've never heard a better solo clarinet. I just think that's the jam. Anyway, so what I want to do is I want to use this line. Is that what it is? No, it's a D. All right. Totally the wrong instrument. So let's do... So nice. All right. That's my Sakimoto phrase for the day. Okay, it's getting totally swallowed up by the production. So Claire requires a little bit of fidgeting to get it just right, because if you don't put a breath, like a little space for the musician, it assumes you want it legato, and it just like trails it off. All right, let's do this. I'm gonna have to just massage it till it works, but it's a small phrase. It's fine. It's worth it. Ba-da-ba-dum-bum. Let's get this right. This clarinet's also all over Hollow Knight, one of my favorite games. Chris Larkin. uses a lot of clear woodwinds. Woodwinds, here we go. Yeah, I want this to be in there. Maybe not the solo, but I think it'd be cool to double this. Michael, you'll be so proud of me. I've officially started using the 0 latency button on Tokyo scoring strings, and so now I don't need my... See, this is an old track, so I don't need my latency compensation, which is why it was getting off all the time. Fascinating, huh? Sucks up all my RAM, but I have a lot of RAM, so it doesn't matter. Now it just sounds so good. All right, let's fix some rhythms. I want that to be an 8th note. Haven't messed with this track in a few months. This was one of the very first things I ever wrote for this game. And it was, at the time, rejected because I was trying to write it for a different purpose. But now that I know what the real purpose is for the Alchemical Woods, it's going to work. Why does it do that? It should not be a double bow. It should just be da 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 dum. It's weird. Let me just type it in again. It's like a rebowing for some reason. Isn't that weird? Oh, I have a little mod wheel blurb mess up. Ha! How about that? Yeah, Tokyo scoring strings is super cool, but it is so overpriced. So if you can find it for at least 50% off, I'd say it's worth it. I think it's $400 or $500. It just no, don't do that. For 100 or 200, yeah, it's awesome, but not for 5. It doesn't add that much value to what I do. Just saying, but it's cool to have it. Here's the thing: I'm a professional, as many of you are, and the 1% does matter for me because this is my living. This is what I get paid to do. I get paid tens of thousands of dollars to write music for games. So as a result, it's important that I spend $500 on something, right? Or 300 or whatever. Like, those are professional tools. So you see, I don't want you to feel like you have to have the same things I use, because you can certainly do it with much less. I like this little phrase. It was kind of a joke when I first wrote it, and then the lead game dev said, I really like that phrase. Let's use it. So here it is. Because it's so happy. But it's kind of magical. So let's do what we can to make it a little bit more magical, maybe with a harp. Yeah, that helps a lot, actually. So let me save the phrase by cleaning it up and then doubling it, because it's just a hot mess. I've never touched it since I played it once. And that's what you're getting to watch live. Dang it, why is it already 4 o'clock Eastern Standard? I could keep doing this for hours. Dang it. I guess that what that means is we should do more of these. Would you guys like to do more of these? I'm writing this stuff anyway, so if you'd like to be a part of it, just let me know. I think I'm actually a better composer or a more thoughtful composer when other people are in the room. Because it forces me to make good decisions instead of screw around with like more sample libraries or something. I'm glad to hear that. Good. Cool. I like that phrase. Well, good. I'm glad that at least a few of you would benefit from that, or you'd enjoy that. That's cool to hear. Maybe I can do some more of that this week. I'm so glad I can be background noise for you, Corey. Yeah, Michael, I did. I have 2 music degrees. I have a piano performance degree for my undergrad, and then a music composition for the screen. From grad school, I went to Columbia Chicago College, their MFA program there. But again, that was great for the experience, but and I learned some things for sure. But I have learned more from YouTube. I've learned more from real jobs. Like I've learned more away from school than I ever had in school. So I think school is good. I don't think it's that important. I'd rather you have internships and assistantships and work with real composers and join VGMA, things like that. Like talk to real people who are actually doing this. That's so much more valuable than any, formal education. And that's what it is. But I learned some invaluable skills in school, like recording with orchestras and things that I actually do for my living. So it was certainly valuable in that way. All right, maybe like 5-ish more minutes, and then we'll wrap this party up. I hate to end it, but I feel like we're just getting started. That's okay. You guys have encouraged me that this is something that you would enjoy to be a part of as I do more. I have 6 more tracks to finish in the next couple weeks, so you can come along for the ride. That's fine. See what's happening. My Celesta line is not lined up with, it's not the same line at all. So let me, as the harp that I just played. Separate take. There we go. That flute. Way too loud. Everything's drowning out that cool clarinet line. I like it. Cool. This is so bad. Ba-da-ba-dum. Oh, I know what needs to happen. My clarinet needs a little bit more latency compensation. It's just coming in too late. That's why it sounds so weird. So maybe like -60. Let's see if that helps. It's still so late. Oh, because it's not even on the time. You just gotta fiddle with this stuff. Almost got it. Cool. Yeah, I'm happy with this. I might just present it like that to the devs. I don't know what else to add that would help. Let's see what else is kind of, with my last couple minutes here, let's see what else is in the works. I'm not 100% done with that one yet. I think it needs a little bit of a polish, but I don't know yet. So, oh, this one's cool. Forbidden Fortress Combat 1. What is this all about? I haven't heard a lot of these in months. There's like an hour of music in this session that I haven't even shared with anybody. This is my Transformers Robots in Disguise. It's so close, it's almost copyright infringement. I hate this so much. Like, it sort of works, but this is no, that's like an absolute not happening. That's not going to fit in this game at all. But that was one of my early ideas. I don't know why. But now listening back, it sounds so much like Transformers, like the old school. How funny is that? Let's see what else is in here. I have a list of about 30 tracks that I'm actively working on. So as I have ideas, I just start something. Combat theme. I like this one. Wow, interesting. I have no memory of writing that. That's crazy. That's fun. That'd be a good one to start with next time. Let me listen to that beginning again. That's fun. That is kind of like Bombing Mission. love that choir. I'm going to put a little marker there for next time. That might be a fun one. Maybe tomorrow. My schedule has been so busy the last few weeks, and then all of a sudden my schedule's almost empty this week, and it's really weird. Empty meaning like just open time to work on this soundtrack, which is a really cool feeling, to have that freedom. What else we got hanging out in this big old session that I can play? I really have to go, but you know, I'm having too much fun. What is this one? This one's already done. Yeah, I've already played some of that. At the garden we're working on. Yeah. It's probably a good stopping spot. There's just so much stuff in here. Ah, this one. Here's our Metroid moment. Ready? Oh, I guess my pitch got screwed up. How do I fix that? I don't know why that's screwed up, but okay. It has like a Chrono Cross meets GoldenEye 007. Oh, that's cool. That's a really cool one that I'd like to play around with. So maybe tomorrow, guys, I'll come up with the time. Just kind of if you have not yet subscribed and put the bell notification here on YouTube, you can be the first to be notified. If you also want to jump into our Discord group, Video Game Music Alliance, come join us. Let me put that in the chat. Excuse me. Really quick, for anyone that's not already inside, we are 706 members strong. Let's grow that thing. It's been a cool Discord group. And of course, we have our pro group. We open again early next year. We just closed doors last week. So yeah, it's going to be super fun. And by the way, over here, let me pop my screen over here. Shboom, we actually have a new guide. If you have not downloaded that yet, go check it out. If you want to be part of the pro group, you can join our wait list. You'll be the first to be notified when we open again early next year. And also get a free guide, $17 value. It's called 25 Questions Every Video Game Music Composer Asks. So it's a revised edition. I actually went back through and edited it and updated it last week. So it's a brand new newish, a newly updated guide, and I hope that is super valuable for anyone that wants to become a game composer. And it just talks a lot about, man, the top 25 questions. So it's like game music packs and invoicing and how to charge, what to charge, how much do we make as game composers, blah, 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 blah. And it does it in a 2-page document that's really clean and quick to the point. And that's the whole point. It's just a quick win for you. If this is interesting to you, to kind of get your foot in the door to start the journey. Anywho, I'll see you guys later this week. If I don't find time over the next couple of days, I should. But just in case, plan to be here Thursday, like it says right there, Thursday, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard. This week, I'm so excited. We get to do Dragon Ball The Breakers. And get to talk about some electric guitar VSTs, which are actually good. It's really hard to find good ones. So maybe talking about some electric guitar and some like metal drums. This can be super fun. I love Dragon Ball. I'm a DBZ hardcore fan back in the 90s, and I can't wait. The game looks so-so, but parts of it look super cool. I'm a sucker for DBZ games. I've played most of them. I just love fighting games in general, and DBZ is no exception. And this is actually their first take on basically Breath of the Wild. They're trying their own 3D open world for DBZ. Why? I don't know, but it's going to be super fun. And my goal is to only use VSTs. I don't want to grab my actual guitar because I want to try to prove that you don't have to have a lot of fancy gear to make cool music. And I think it's going to be a lot of fun. So make sure you're there on Thursday, and hopefully maybe tomorrow, the next 2 days, we can do some more streams like this, because this is super fun for me and it kind of forces me to write music, and it's fun with you guys. So let's end it there. Take care, guys. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.